My name is Autumn Shirk, and I decided to research Parkinson's as my disease to be discussed. And the reason I picked Parkinson's is because my grandma actually suffers from it. And it's cool doing the research and just like seeing everything that she does suffer from that I don't know about. So, Parkinson's is a central nervous system disease. So, it affects the nervous system, the brain, and the spinal cord, and it affects movement. Our brains produce a chemical called dopamine, and when it dies, that affects the spinal cord and in turn causing Parkinson's. So it primarily, like I said, affects the nervous system, but it also affects the digestive system, causing constipation and bloating, and the urinary system, which causes urgency and frequency. So something cool about Parkinson's is there's actually 5 stages. So their symptoms start slowly, but then they progress. So like the first stage, they're very mild and limited to one side of the body, and people are able to live on their own. But then when you jump down to the fourth and fifth stages, the fourth stage is when people need help with daily activities and they no longer can live alone. And then the fifth stage is when patients are bedridden. So they don't say that this disease is fatal, but it does progress as people go on. Some common symptoms of Parkinson's that actually my grandma has experienced quite a few of these, which is very interesting. Tremors, and this actually usually begins in the hands and the fingers, and it will begin on one side of the body, and then it will in turn go to both. Slow movement, making everyday tasks difficult. So, crossing the street or even pouring a cup of juice in the morning, like that's very slow. And poor posture and balance, which can cause, falling over or needing to use a walker or cane. I thought it was really cool that, like, to read and research that Parkinson can also affect some non-motor symptoms. So, like, not the physical symptoms, more of, like, mental symptoms, including depression, anxiety, and sleep problems. I just thought it was cool to note that my grandma actually, she talks in her sleep and she'll like laugh in her sleep, and those are actually due to her Parkinson's. People can also have very vivid dreams and acting out dreams, so not knowing the difference between being awake and dreaming, or being awake and thinking something and being asleep and dreaming it. It was cool to read that they actually can cause trouble smelling, and feeling very tired, which I've noticed again with my grandma. So some treatment and management of Parkinson's it's very case by case. So like there's medications to help alleviate some of the symptoms, but some people just don't need them. So some people have actually lived very successful lives without medication and with the use of occupational physical therapy and even surgical route of deep brain stimulation, which is cool. That's when the surgeon goes in and puts electrons into the brain. And I think that science equips humans to participate in cause redemptive work because I think God gives the science for us to figure things out. So I think that God, gave us these medications that are out there that these scientists have to come up with, and to come up with these medications to help Parkinson's and other diseases. I think he also, God provides people the medical knowledge to come up with cures and to be these, physical therapists or doctors to help these patients. So